I want to see the exact same movie, except it's not called Juanita, it's called Maria, and it's her character from Luke Cage, because I think that would be interesting. What is up, Flick fans, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm talking about the brand new Netflix movie called Juanita. I was excited because I believe Alfre Woodard is a very underrated actress. She hasn't had too much to do on the big screen, but I do believe and truly hope she expands eventually because she is a powerhouse, a force of an actress, if you will. And because of that, I was intrigued with the premise. I thought the trailer was pretty good. This had potential. Let's talk about this movie right now. So fed up with her deadbeat grown kids and marginal urban existence, Juanita takes a Greyhound bus to Paper Moon, Montana, where she reinvents herself and finds her mojo. Like I said, Alfre Woodard is awesome, so her as the lead in this film had me intrigued, and the story starts. She does exactly what I anticipated her to do, is to leave her old life behind. There is this trope that is played throughout the entire movie where she is narrating and explaining to the audience what is going on. I could have went without that. I don't think it ruined the film. We'll get into that in just a second, but that's a trope that usually bothers me if it's not done in a different way, because we see it so often, it just becomes conventional. It played in a similar fashion in this film and just became repetitive, even though at a certain point it just kind of stops and never really comes back up until later on in the film. So I found that a bit odd. I also found the pacing of the movie a bit odd, and let's just get into my thoughts. I did not like this movie at all. I wanted to. I love her as an actress. It's not her fault. She's not the reason why this movie does not work. It does not work because the story and where it goes, it's just so uninteresting. I never cared about any of the characters, where she goes, the people that she builds relationships with. Of course, she's going to create this new life for herself and go back on certain things that she promised at the beginning of the movie. And we've seen similar films. They're tired of the way things are going. They just want to go out, do something crazy, do something new. And that's what she was doing. And seeing that play out at the beginning of the film, I actually thought the first act was okay. Even with the voiceover trope, I'm like, all right, this could go somewhere interesting. I want to see her go on this adventure. And not that I needed this super exciting film, because that's not what this was. I recognize that. It was more of a character study. It just goes about it in the worst possible way from a writing and directing standpoint. Now, the look of the film is actually pretty good. I didn't have a major issue with the cinematography and just the way, the vibe that you get from the color correction. And the vibes that I got from where her character is going throughout the movie, they use this trope, and I don't know if I want to spoil it all the way, but there is this fantasy that she keeps having with Blair Underwood, of all people, and it's so funny, but I liked seeing that where it started out because the fantasy is a bit darker. She doesn't really know where she's at in life, and then throughout the film, as she begins to find herself, it's not a spoiler, you know it's coming, and as things start to change in her life, those fantasies become brighter, happier, and it actually ends the film on a nice note. But the journey, everything that happens in between those fantasies, I didn't really care about. Another thing that I liked, before I get too negative, is the beginning with the hand-drawn intro. I thought that was a beautiful way to start this movie. I'm like, yeah, I'm liking this. This is different. It's not your typical cliche and average Netflix film, and then as the movie progresses, it's your typical cliche and average Netflix film. It's so uninteresting. There is no drama throughout the film, and I liked the vibe that I got from her relationship with her family at the beginning of the movie, but it's barely mentioned throughout. She is on her adventure, she is discovering herself, and you don't hit back on the emotional beats to make the audience care about your character. The only reason I moderately cared is because she is so good in the role, but everything else, the script, what she was given to say, the conversations, the dialogue, especially within the restaurant, it was so boring and the pacing was so slow. If you want to see a slow film, then by all means go see Juanita, but it is, nope. It is a tired film, and you could argue with me that it's a pleasant road trip film. Austin, why did you expect this much from this movie? Why are you judging it so harshly? Once again, I see a lot of films. I watch 1 or 2 movies on Netflix almost every weekend, and when you give me this run-of-the-mill thing that I've seen 1,000 times before, except 999 of those times it's more interesting than a movie like this, then I'm going to judge it in this way, and I'm not being harsh. I just expected a lot more from this film because of the talent and because I had faith from the trailer that it was going to deliver. For me, it did not. For you, I want you guys to let me know in the comments section, did you like this movie? Are you anticipating this film? As always, see the movie for yourself and make up your own mind. If you're asking my advice, I would say skip it because it was so slow and the pacing was not there. And because of all of those things, I'm going to give Juanita a very measly 32%. Did not like this movie. The only thing that semi-saves it is her performance. But those are just my opinions. I believe there's a movie on Netflix right now called Walk, Ride, Rodeo. Let me know in the comments if you want to see me review that. I will probably do that. This weekend has been awesome. Insane, crazy, so many Captain Marvel videos, Marvel Cinematic Universe. I've already done like 2 Netflix reviews. A lot has dropped, but I'm trying my best to make my way through all of it, so you guys will know how I feel about all of this content. You are the absolute best. Thank you guys for everything that you do. If you want to see where this ranks on my 2019 list, click on that letterbox link down below, and I will catch you very soon.